Zandile Mafe, who has been charged, of course, with terrorism and blamed for the fire at Parliament, is expected back in court after being sent for a psychiatric evaluation. Mafe's lawyers will tell the court today whether or not they will be accepting the findings of the independent panel of psychiatrists. Ayesha Ismail is in court and she joins us right now. Ayesha, quite interesting, events taking place in court. What's the latest you can tell us there? We know that Mafe has done his psychiatric evaluation at the Fort England Hospital in Makanda in the Eastern Cape. But please tell us more.
Well, that is exactly what the whole dispute is, or the delay is about at the moment. And as you say, he has undergone a psychiatric evaluation. There was a panel that had assessed him. The question was, of course, whether the Zandile Mafe's lawyers are going to accept the findings of that expert panel. What we do know, though, is that the state has accepted the findings of the panel. But I'm now joined by Zandile Mafe's attorney, Lovuyo Godla. Mr. Godla, earlier today in court, we were expecting the defense to come back to say we are accepting the outcome or the findings of the report, or we are going to challenge that. What is the situation at the moment? Because now we're hearing that the intention is to have Mr. Mafe reassessed.
Okay, a point of correction, Mr. Mafe is not going to be reassessed. But the expert that has been appointed by the defense is only to determine whether we are accepting or we are not accepting, and what will be the further conduct of the matter from now moving forward. It was extremely difficult for us to get someone willing to help Mr. Mafe. It was extremely difficult. Remember, this is the case which is had never seen by anyone. We never thought about it. It's for the first time to encounter this type of a matter. So it's not therefore something very easy to simply deal with it in a very short space of time or cut corners, because it's about life of Mr. Mafe. So we need to follow a due process. So this is why it took time. We thought as well that by today we will be able to be in a position to say, okay, look, we accept the findings or we dispute the findings. But unfortunately, it's not upon us, and it's not as we don't have that expertise to assess someone. It ought to be deferred to the relevant experts in order to know what will be the further conduct of the matter.
So while Judge Nathan Erasmus did point out that it is Mr. Mafe's constitutional right to challenge the report, this was an expert panel that assessed Mr. Mafe, 2 psychiatrists and 1 psychologist. Why won't you, or why won't the defense accept the findings?
We can't simply accept the findings. We need a second opinion. Because remember, if we can simply accept the findings and it transpires at a later stage that we never verified the findings of the experts, and that therefore someone comes up on behalf of Mr. Mafe, maybe we are no longer there to defend, or we don't have instruction, surely we would be found negligent. We always need to do our level best and make it a point that a person's rights are protected, and a person, more especially when it has something to do with his life, because these findings, if the court can act on them, we don't know, Mr. Mafe might be kept for the rest of his life as a state president's patient. So we need to verify everything. We don't need to be in a hurry. We cannot say that let us deal with it in a period of 6 months. We need to be thorough so that whatever court arrives at, we help as well, and we don't regret in the near future.
Some may argue that this is just delaying tactics on the side of the defense.
It can be a delaying tactic. Yeah, people might say so, They are at liberty to say so. But obvious, whatever we do, we must do it according to the book. We don't need to cut corners. We are not in a hurry. And we wouldn't delay a matter when, in fact, our client is in custody. All what we want is to do things in a right way. And Mr. Mafe as well must be able to see that he was properly represented and he had adequate legal defense. So we can't rush. We are not trying to delay. We know this is a matter which is in public interest, and we want as well to get to finality of this matter. But in doing so, we must follow a proper procedure.
Now, you've always maintained Mr. Mafe's innocence. Today we heard in court Mr. Mafe saying that he did set Parliament alight and gave reasons for doing so.
You know, when one is making admission, or say if one is pleading guilty in court, court does not simply rush and say, let me sentence this person. But court will satisfy itself by asking questions and verifying whether the person is admitting all the elements of a crime. Because there could be many reasons why one would say, I am pleading guilty. Here today, that could be one of those reasons. Mr. Mafe has been complaining that no, he needs justice. And Mr. Mafe on previous occasions said, why can't I be sentenced? I'm prepared to take even life imprisonment. And now today we don't know if it was out of frustration, because he keeps on even now saying, I don't see any reason of referring me to the Eastern Cape instead of giving me life imprisonment. That cannot be just taken lightly and say he be given life imprisonment, because it could be out of frustration. We do not know. Instead, his conduct of today, it raises a red flag to us to say, look, we really need to engage an independent psychiatrist so that everything can be verified. It's not something that court can act on. And as a result thereof, court did not consider what Mr. Mafe said. It just ignored what he said, because there could be many reasons because why he said that. So we are still yet to verify the condition of Mr. Mafe and what could be the reason for him to make those utterances.
Now, up until today, the findings of that expert panel report had been sealed, and the judge then made a decision today to reveal the findings and saying that Mr. Mafe is not fit to stand trial. How do you feel about that?
We knew about those findings, but obvious it was an agreement and it was a court order that those findings not to be revealed. But however, today court decided to reveal. It's a prerogative of the court, and surely you heard the court, the judge saying the court was criticized as if it's delaying as well this process. Hence, the court then revealed as well that, look, these are the findings. We are not going to reveal the diagnosis, but we will only reveal the findings. And I will as well notify the health facility so that any medical intervention which is necessary for his medical condition can as well be made available. We are not shocked because we knew, but all what we want is to verify and make it a point that everything that ought to be done under the sun is done. to help Mr. Mafe.
Thank you so much for your time. And that was Luvuyo Godla, the attorney representing Zandile Mafe.